Welcome to another exciting educational video brought to you by Up Vision Concepts Academy. In conjunction with Crashlight Tutors, we master calculations, excel in science, and learn anytime. So we'll be looking at JAMB past questions in statistics and probability. So we'll be covering every questions that comes out for JAMB that covers statistics and probability. So without wasting time, we'll dive into the questions. And the first one we have here is the table below represents or shows how a student spends 720 naira in a week. So this is the table right here. So I'm going to be having accompanying questions for this particular table. It says, what is the angle representing food in the pie chart? So as we all know, a pie chart is a circle representing uh, different items according to the 360 divisions. So each of these divisions is just like a part of 360. Now, the question here says, what is the angle representing food in the pie chart? So this is food. Food is 240, right? So we're going to be having the angle. The formula is the angle over the total over 360 times the total expenditure. So the value of the the value is the 240 that we are trying to represent in angular form over the total amount, which is the summation of each of the items times 360. So we sum the total amount, everything will give us 720. That is sum from here to here. Okay. And we go ahead and write 240 over 720 times 360. So by the time we'll do the maths, we'll have 120. So the angle that is representing food is 120 degree. Okay, so the answer is B. So move on to the next question. This question is coming from the measures of central tendency mean. Now we have three measures of central tendency. We have mean, median, and mode. Ask to find the mean of the numbers 4, 7, 9, 6, and 4. So the um, formula is mean is equals to sigma x over n, where sigma x is the summation of the distribution. Distribution just means um, 4, 7, 9, 6, and 4. So these are the distribution. So the number of distribution we have here is uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll count the number of distribution and we'll sum up this distribution. Okay, so if we sum them up, we'll get 330. That's 30. And we divide 30 by 5 to get 6. So the mean is 6. So 6 is the answer. All right. So the next question is on measures of dispersion range. So for range, it is actually the highest number in the distribution, highest number minus the lowest number in the distribution. All right. So we are going to inspect these numbers, the distribution. So we'll pick the highest number. The highest number here is 12, right? And lowest number here is 3. So 12 minus 3 will give us 9. So the range is 9. So the answer is D. Okay. So the next question has to do with permutation. It says, how many ways can 3 students be selected and arranged from a group of 5 students? Permutation. So for permutation, there's a parameter n, and that n is the possible numbers that it can be arranged to, and r is the numbers that we want to arrange. So most of the time, this n is greater than r, right? So n permutation r is the same thing as saying n factorial all over n minus r factorial. Okay, so um, n is 5 because 5 is the uh, total number of students, and 3 is the number of students we want to arrange inside 5 or the 5 students, right? So it is 5 permutation 3, 5 factorial all over 5 minus 3 factorial. So we do 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial. Now, how do we express factorial? Factorial is just starting from what you are given and multiply until you get to 1, just decreasing in a descending order. So if I have 5 factorial, for instance, what I'm told to do is to write 5 times 4, multiply by 3, multiply by 2, multiply by 1. Just multiply in descending order till it gets to 1, right? And for 2 factorial, I say 2 times 1, okay, until you get to 1. So the answer is 60. Why? Because 5 factorial is 120 and over 2. 2 factorial is just 2. So 2 here 1, 2 here 60. So I'll have 60 as the answer here. Okay. So the next question has to do with probability. It says a fair die is thrown once. Find the probability of getting a multiple of 3. So the fair die is thrown. The all the total list of possible outcomes if a die is thrown is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is all the possible outcome is uh, for the die. But if we want to now get the uh, multiples of 3, it's only 2 times that we can get multiples of 3 in these outcomes, right? 3 and 6, 2 times. So the formula for probability is favorable outcome over total outcome. Favorable outcome just defines what you want to get, while the total outcome defines all the possible outcome that can come out from that probability. So 2 over 6 becomes 1 over 3. That's why we have 1 over 3 as the answer here. Okay, so probability measures the likelihood of an event occurring out of total possible outcomes. Okay, so the next one here is for a bar chart. From a bar chart. Okay, all right, so the bar chart shows the number of students uh, in a shop. So this is the bar chart. Here's the bar chart. So say how many books were sold altogether. How many books were sold altogether? So we have options 10, just 100, A 100, B 110, C 120, and D 130. So at this point, we will need to find the total number of books sold. So we're going to be adding 20 plus 35 plus 25 plus 40. So the answer give us 120. Okay. So the next question is on median. So say find the median of the numbers 3, 7, 9, 12, and 15. Median is just the middle number. The first thing we do is to arrange the numbers from this least to the greatest, ascending to the least to the greatest, of course. All right, so then we'll now count the numbers. There are 5 of these numbers, So we add that 5 to 1. So the number of distribution is n. So add n to 1 to give you a, a value that you divide by 2. So if I have 5 plus 1 is equals to 6, 6 over 2 will give you 3. So 3 is the position where my median will reside. The third number or the third position is where my median will reside in the distribution. That's how you do it. So the distribution again, according to the ascending order, is 3, 7, 9, 12, and 15. So to get the median, I'll just use this 3 position. 1, 2, 3 is where my median is residing. The number in that 3 position is 9. So 9 is my answer. 9 is my answer, right? Okay. All right. So the next question is find the variance of data. Find the variance of the data. All right. So I'll start by saying get the mean of this data distribution. The mean is 2 plus 4 plus 6 over 3. So 12 over 3 will give me 4. That's the mean. Now to find the deviations, we have to find the deviations. So we'll do a table. So this table will show this uh, the table will show these numbers. The table will show the numbers 2, 4, and 6. Now, having gotten the mean, we have to subtract each of these values for the mean from these values. So here I have 2 minus 4 because 4 is the mean I got here. Give me minus 2. And 4 minus 4, 4 again because it's the mean, and 6 minus 4. Everything here I have minus 2, minus 0, and 2. So I have to square these deviations. I square it. So if I square 2, I get 4. If I square 0, I get 0. If I square 2, I get 4. So the next thing I do is to sum the squares. Sum the squares. 4 plus 0 plus 4. I sum everything here to give me 8. So having summed the squares, I will now divide that summation by 3. 3 is just the number of the distribution. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so I get 2.67. So further, you will see that standard deviation, SD, is equals to the square root of the variance. You just know this relationship. This way we are stopping because we are asked to find the variance. But this other one, you will see it later. The standard deviation is equal to the square root of the variance. Okay. So the next one is combination. So combination is used when order does not matter. So its notation is like this: 5 combination 2, for instance. So it says, in how many ways can 2 students be chosen from 5 students? So this is just the number of ways that something can be chosen from something. So when you see the question like this, we're looking at combination. And the notation is n combination r, where n is bigger number and r is smaller number. And this translates to be n factorial all over r factorial, open brackets, n minus r factorial. Okay, let's see. So this is how it is written. So plug in the values there. I have 5, I have 2, I have 5 factorial all over 2 factorial times 3 factorial. 3 factorial came because 5 minus 2 is 3, right? So by the time you do the expansion of the factorials, you'll be getting 5 times 4 times 3 factorials all over 2 times 1 times 3 factorials. I can do this for you to see how it goes. So this is 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? Then the next one is 2 times 1. That's the 2 times factorial. And 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. So this all the whole of this cancel the whole of this. 2 cancels here, and this is 2. So the final answer will give us 10. Final answer will give us 10. So B is the answer. Okay. So we look at probability addition rule. A card is selected from a standard deck of 52 cards. Find the probability of selecting a king or a queen. First of all, we are told a king or a queen. So we are not particular about whether it's a king or a queen. It is a combination of the two. So the first thing you do is to know the number of kings in a card. Number of king in a card. Also know number of queen in a card. Okay, I think we have 4 here. We have 4 here. So that's 8. And if this is 8, so this 8 is the favorable outcome. So probability is defined as favorable, what we want to get, right, over total or possible outcome. The total outcome is 56 and 8 over 52, sorry, not 56. So by the time we do the math, we're getting 2 over 13, right? Yes, 2 over 13. All right. So what are the key insights for JAMB students? The first thing you do is that mean is defined by formula sigma x over n, where x is the distribution, the distribution, the list of distribution. So summation, sigma is summation of all distribution over number of the distribution. Another formula is range. Range for a distribution is the highest number in that distribution minus the lowest number in that distribution. And for permutation, you have n permutation r translates to become n factorial over n minus r factorial, and combination n combination r is n factorial over r factorial, open bracket again, n minus r factorial. All right, so probability is favorable outcome over total outcome. So the next set of question is histogram and data representation. So the table below shows the distribution of marks obtained by students in tests. So this now is what we call the class interval. So this table is interpreted like this: 0 to 10 marks was scored by 4 students. From 10 to 20 marks scored by 6 students. Or other way I put it, I say 4 people scored between 0 to 10, 6 people scored between 10 to 20, 10 people scored between 20 to 30, and 5 people scored between 30 to 40. So this is how that table is read. Right. So the question from this table says how many students took the test? This is straightforward. We are not looking at here. We're looking at here. We're looking at the total number of students that took the test. So we're just simply going to add 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 5. So the answer give us 25. 25 is C. So the next question is mean from frequency table. The table below shows the number of books read by students. So this is a table again, and you have books and the frequency. So what this one is saying that 1 book is read by 2 students, 2 books is read by 3 students, 3 books is read by 4 students, and 4 books is read by 1 student. So find the mean number of books read. So now we have frequency parameter in that table. So we are going to do an additional column known as frequency. Frequency times x. Okay, so this is the column here, but I'm going to show you how each of them were gotten from here. So we'll multiply 2 by 1 to get 2, 2 times 3 to get 6, and 3 times 4 to get 12, and 4 times 1 to get 4. That's how we got this like this. So the next thing we'll do is to sum up the fx column, sum of this column, and sum of this column, sum of. So um, um, the the mean like this is equals to sigma f of x over sigma f. So I've summed up f of x as 24. So 24 all over 10 will give us 2.4. 2.4. Okay, all right. So the next one is standard deviation. I recall I told you that standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So we're going to start. We have this distribution 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4, and 6. So the first thing you need to have a table. That table, before we have the table, we have to find the mean. The mean of that distribution is 2 plus 4 plus 6 over 3. Okay, so do the table, and this first column for the table, you put the distribution 2, 4, 6. Then the mean is you subtract the mean deviation, that is x minus mean. This table is x minus mean, this one x minus mean. So you subtract from 2, 4, 4 minus 4, and 6 minus 4. Why all this 4? Because the mean is already 4. Okay, so you get the answers here. So next thing you do is to square each of these to get this, right? So when you do that, you get 404. So you add this and get 8. Okay, so when you add it, add the sum the squares. So the variance actually is the sum of the squares all over the number of distribution, 8 over 3. And the standard deviation will now be the square root of 8 over 3. That's 1.63. Right. So the next question is permutation with restriction. Says how many three-digit numbers can be formed from digits 1, 2, 3, 4 without repetition. Okay, so how many three-digit numbers? Three-digit numbers have to do with hundreds, tens, and units. So you see that 100 place 4 choices. Okay, tens place 3 choices, and units place 2 choices. So what we do is just to multiply 4 by 3 by 2, and simply you get 24. So 24 is the number of ways that a three-digit number can be formed from 1, 2, 3, 4 without a repetition. Okay. So the next one has to do with probability 2 events. It says a bag contains 5 red balls and 3 blue balls. One ball is selected randomly. Find the probability of selecting a red ball. A red ball. So you see that probability is favorable outcome. So we are looking for how to get favored to select a red ball out of 5 of them. Favorable outcome over total outcome. Total outcome now will now be 5 plus 3, right? Okay, so let's just go. Total balls is 5 plus 3, and the favorable outcome is 5, right? So probability is favorable outcome over total outcome. 5 over 8 will give us 5 over 8, of course, as fraction. All right, students should master 3 core areas in statistics: data representation, pie chart. What is it? Sorry, not pie chart. Bar chart. You have bar chart, you have pie chart, you have histogram, you have frequency table. The pie chart or bar chart is a chart that looks like this. It's a bar chart, just showing bars, just showing bars, showing bars. It's a bar chart. It's a pie chart. Is we are dividing 360 by different parts, right? Histogram is like a bar chart, but the bars are not separate. So I have something like this. So I have something like this. Just pardon my diagram, but just to show you. Frequency table has to do with how frequency tables are done. So as a student preparing for external exams and JAMB, ensure you know all this. Consult your materials and ensure you know them. Also, measures of standard tendency is mean, median, mode. Know those ones very well. Probability and counting, know your permutation. combination, and simple probability. Finally, these topics appear in almost every JAMB math exams. And so we'll go further to do some more questions. Question 16 has to do with grouped mean. The distribution of marks of students is given below. So this is grouped mean. You have uh, marks in classes and the number of students that fall inside those class marks. Okay, so find the mean mark. So I'm going to be introducing what we call the class mid, the class mid class or midpoint or the midpoint. Yes. So the midpoint is the center of a class. So between 0 and 10, the midpoint is 5. And this midpoint will represent the value x. You know, we talked about x in the previous example, and x and f, where x will multiply f, right? Okay, so this time around, we're not going to be multiplying class by the frequency. We're going to be looking for a particular value of x that represents that class, and that value is the midpoint. So between 0 to 10, the midpoint is 5. Between 10 to 20, the midpoint is 15. 20 to 30, the midpoint is 25. And between 30 to 40, the midpoint is 35. So once we have represented every class with its midpoint, go to the draw table again and represent each of the classes with their midpoint. The frequency is by the side, and by the time you multiply 5 by 3, I get 15. 15 times 5, I get 75. 5 times 7, I get 175. 5 times 5, I get 175. So I will get the sum of this and sum of this. So I add this to give me a sum, add this to give me a sum. So what's the sum? So sigma f of x is 20, and sigma f is 20, f fx is 440. So having gotten these two, I just put it in the formula. Say sigma f of x and sigma f. Right? So it's going to be 440 divided by 20 to get 22 as the answer. Right? So mode of a group data. The table below determine the modal class. So this is the table. This one is straightforward. The modal class is actually the class that has the highest frequency. So which class here have the highest frequency? I have 2, 6, 9, and 10, and 5. The highest frequency here is 9. So the modal class that falls under that frequency is 20 to 30. So that is I think the answer should be C. 20 to 30, yes. C. All right. So combination word problem. A committee of 4 persons or 4 people is to be selected from 6 men and 5 women. In how many ways can the committee be formed? Okay, so here total people in this committee is 6 men plus 5 women, so 11. So I have 11 persons. So I'm not particular about a woman or a man in that committee. I'm particular about that 4 persons who will be in this committee, either irrespective of whether they are women or men, right? Okay, so I'm going to be saying 11 combination 4, where 11 is the total people in that committee, and that's total people in that group, and the 4 is the committee of 4 persons, right? So once I can represent my work problem in this form, my answer is already there. I just express it. You know that n combination r is simply as n factorial over n factorial and n minus r factorial, right? So what's happened here? So if I have 11 combination 4, simple as saying 11 factorial all over 4 factorial, 4 factorial times 11 minus 4, 4 factorial, right? So 11 minus 4 is 7. That's why I'm having 7 here. Okay. So I simplify and I get my answer as 330 ways. 330 ways. Okay, so probability of two events. Two coins are tossed at the same time. Find the probability of getting two heads. Okay, so if I toss a coin 4 times, if I two coins are tossed at the same time, sorry, two coins are tossed at the same time. So the coin has head or tail, head or tail. This is one coin, coin one and coin two. So there's either head or tail here and tail or head here, right? So if I toss the first one, I can get from here, I can get uh, tail, tail. So I will write tail, tail. Hold up, tail, tail, right? So from one and two, I can get tail, tail. I can get tail, head, that's tail, head from one and two. I can get head, tail, or head, head. So these are the uh probability, the outcomes I can get, right? Okay, so these are the outcomes, and the outcomes are four of them, right? So favorable outcome is how can I get two heads? So it's one. Two heads can appear only once. Look at it, one. So the probability, again, probability by formula is favorable outcome, fav, over total outcome, thought, right? So total outcome is 4, favorable outcome is 1. 1 over 4 is my answer. Okay. So number 20. So this one is complementary rule. It said in a class of 40 students, 18 study maths, 20 study physics, 5 study both. Find the number of students who study neither subject. So this one has to do with the applying the skill of uh, sets and Venn diagram. So I can just draw the Venn diagram here. Just draw the Venn diagram here. So I'll come and say the universal set U is 40, right? And then I have that the sets. There are two sets here. The first one is maths. Let's say M maths, and I have 18 students. And the next one is physics V. I have 12 students. Then 5 study boats. Then they say we should look for number of students that study neither subject. So I can call that number A. A. So that A is outside this sets, right? So the formula for set is number of the universal sets is equals to um, number that study mathematics plus number that study physics plus number of A, which is the outside one, then minus number of okay, let me put that one somewhere under here. Okay, number of M intersect P. Okay, so I'll do it again here so that you can know the formula again. That's number of universal sets is equals to number that studied mathematics plus number that studied physics plus number at the outside, that's the prime, the complements, right? The minus number of maths intersects physics. Maths intersects physics. Okay. Now, this number of universal sets is 40, and the number that studied mathematics is 18. That's from here. Then for physics is 12. Is 12. Then for what I'm looking for is neither. Neither is this A. Neither is A, right? That's outside. Neither is outside. See A outside here. Then minus the intersection of math and physics is 5. Okay, so I'm going to add up. I have 40. Then 5 will go to the other side plus 5 is equals to 18 plus 12 plus number of A. This number of A's that study NEDA, right? So this is 45. It equals to this and this. 18 plus 12 will give us four. 18 plus 12 will give us 30. Then plus NEDA. So number that study NEDA is equals to 45 minus 30, which will give us 15. So this 15 is the number of students who study NEDA subject. So 15 will be here. By the time you add 15 and and the number I have here and here, you will get 40. So 15 is number that study none of them. So I will take this thing off so I can have a cleaner representation of what I am intending to show us. So without the diagram, you have this is inclusion exclusion principle. Okay. So neither is 15. Neither student that study neither students studying neither subject is 15. All right. So key JAMB tricks you should know. Sigma fx over sigma f will give us the mean for group data. Our combination again is n combination r is n factorial over r factorial open bracket n minus r factorial. Probability is favorable outcome over total outcome. So the inclusion exclusion principle is this formula from Venn diagram. Right, the last set of 25 questions is you have a pie chart interpretation. Say in a pie chart representing how a student spend his monthly allowance. Sector representing transport has an angle of 72 degrees. If total allowance is 9,000, how much is spent on transport? Okay, so we're told that 72 degrees is the angle. So if, for instance, now I have a pie chart like this and I have one section 72 degree. 72 degree is coming from how many? It's coming from 360. So simply, this is a fraction of 360. So 72 over 360 then times what is the whole representation of the allowance? The allowance total is 9,000, right? So how much will 72 over 360 give from 9,000? That's what this question is asking. This is the crux of the question. If you can get to this point, you're home and dry. So that's barring any mathematical disaster, right? But here is angle over 360, this angle over 360 times total, right? Okay, so to this point, like I said, so every other thing is just simplification. The answer is 1,800. C is the answer. Okay, so the next one is mode. Find the mode of the data set. 4, 5, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, 8, 8, 6. Now, what's mode? Mode is defined as the number in data set that occurs the most. The highest frequently occurring number is the mode. So which one? Let's count the frequency. How many times does each of them appear? So 4 appear 3 times, 5 appear 1 time, 6 appear 2 times, 7 appear 1 time, 8 appear 1 time. You can agree with me that 4 has the highest frequency. So the mode is 4. All right. Variance. Find the variance of 3, 5, and 7. Again, variance is you get the data sets in a tabular form. First of all, find the mean. So first of all, you find the mean. 3, 5, and 7. 3 plus 5 plus 7 divided by 3 will give us the mean. The mean is 5, right? So you do a table where each of these data sets is you subtract 3 from each of them to get the mean deviation. So when I say this minus 3, give me minus, sorry, this minus 5, give minus 2, 5 minus 5 will give me 0, 7 minus 5 will give me 2. So when I get this one, this column, I will just square each of them. So minus 2 square will give me 4, 0 square will give me 0, and 2 square will give me 4, right? Then this one, I'm going to sum it. 4 plus 0 plus 4 will give me 8. So variance is actually the summation, which is 8 over 3. All right? So if I sum it, I'm going to be getting 6.7, 2.67, right? All right. So how many different arrangements can be made from the letter words map? 3 times 2 times 1, that's 3 factorial. So this is how you get this question. So if you want to get how many different arrangements can be made from the letter words, just do the factorial of that number of letter words. All right. 25, it says a bag contains 4 green balls, 3 red balls, and 3 blue balls. Once stated and round up, find the probability is a blue ball. So probability again is favorable outcome. Which one do I want to favor over total outcome? What is the total that is there? Total is 4 plus 3 plus 3. What will that give me? That will give me 10. That's total. But favorable, I want to favor which one? Blue. Favorable is what? 3. So 3 over 10 is the answer. All right. So this is the end of the series. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Before we quickly close, let's see revision guides for students. You have mean. The formula for mean is sigma x over n, where x is the distribution. Okay, mode is defined as the most frequently occurring value. Variance is defined as the summation of the deviation from each of the mean squared all over number of the distribution. Permutation is n permutation r, which is n factorial over n minus r factorial. Combination is n combination r, which is n factorial over r factorial times n minus r factorial. And probability is favorable outcome over total outcome. So I hope this video has been informative for you. I'd like to thank you for viewing. Kindly subscribe to our channel, Grassroots Tutors, and our sister channel, Option Questions Academy. See you in the next lesson.